Welcome to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping Orange County. With your host, Don Camber.
Hello, live from the OC Talk Radio studios at UCI's Beal Applied Innovation Center. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Don Camber with two guests positively impacting our community. Today, I welcome Fiesta Association President Jim Taylor and First VP and Mercado Chair Michelle Erca. They're among many who are helping to organize the 64th Annual Swallows Day Parade and Mercado Street Fair in San Juan Capistrano, scheduled for Saturday, March 23rd. The theme is Saddle Up San Juan. The parade is one of the nation's largest non-motorized parades. Thank you, Jim and Michelle, for being on Impact OC.
Well, thank you for having us. Not a lot of people would.
Happy to be here.
Jim, please explain the history of the parade and its relation to the return of the Swallows, and give us an overview of what we can expect on Saturday, March 23rd.
Well, the parade is actually an offshoot from a festival that San Juan Elementary did back in the late 50s. The first official parade was 1960 with Grand Marshal Audie Murphy and Barbara Stanwyck. And it celebrates, obviously, the return of the Swallows to Capistrano from Goya, Argentina. And it also celebrates the heritage of San Juan Capistrano, which has a rich history from the Old West to the Juaninos and the Hashaman tribes, and of course the mission in San Juan. What we're going to see on Saturday, March 23rd, the 64th annual parade, is marching bands, lots of horses, 250 plus horses. I think we're at 20 wagons right now. Lots of dancers, lots of cowboys, lots of cowgirls. It's going to be very entertaining, very family-friendly oriented, but a very entertaining day.
And of course, that parade begins at 11 in the morning.
It does, and it typically ends at 12:30 to 1 o'clock.
And Michelle, explain what will go on at the Mercado Street Fair between 8:30 in the morning and 5 in the evening that day at San Juan Capistrano's historic Town Center Park.
The Mercado is a great way to spend the day after the parade. We have, and even before the parade begins, we have a variety of vendors all day long selling country western merchandise. We have face painters. We have a country western band, wine and beer, a whole park of inflatables and games for children. There'll just be a variety of fun things to do. We have over 20 food vendors and DJ. It's a really big party and a good time for families as well.
Jim, explain the route and some of the entries, including the Grand Marshal.
Our Grand Marshal this year is Matt Gaffney, a local man. The thing that got me about Matt Gaffney is he's been to every single Swallows Day parade from 1960 to date, with the exception of one. When he was with the U.S. Navy, he was at the equator being inducted into the Royal Order of Shellbacks. So he had a good reason to miss that one. But he was a banner carrier as a kid in the initial parades, and he's a local businessman, very active in the community. And when I heard about the not missing a single parade with the exception of one when he had a serious, legitimate reason, and I think he'd be perfect for Grand Marshal. We also have two celebrities coming in. Southern California's favorite weatherman, NBC's Fritz Coleman. He'll be riding a horse in the parade, and then KFI AM 640's Tim Conway Jr. will be in the parade in a wagon with his family.
And it is one of the largest non-motorized parades in the country. Explain what that means.
Well, basically every wagon or float is either pulled by humans or by animal. There are no cars in the parade, with the exception of the one time in 2022 when we had the horse virus and all the horses were quarantined. We flipped and made it the motorized parade for the first and probably only time that the Swallows Day will ever be motorized. Some people say the largest non-motorized. I don't know if anybody's ever actually checked, so I always say one of the largest non-motorized parades.
You're right. I say it's one of the largest.
It's one of the largest, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
We'd like to think it's the largest.
It's clearly the biggest one in San Juan Capistrano.
That is for sure.
And tradition abounds in there. People have been going there for years and years and years.
Absolutely. This is a tradition people look forward to every single year. And it's, if you haven't been to San Juan Capistrano, it's such a great town full of tradition. It's country western. It's, there's it used to have a trading post, there's a mission, there's all kinds of things that just take you back to another time in history.
Jim, talk about the logistics for those who want to go to the parade in terms of shuttles. They could take the Metrolink. Where should they park? Those kinds of things.
I think Metrolink is the best bet. It's $10 as long as your destination is San Juan Capistrano. Kids 17 and under are free. So pick up the ticket at Metrolink. You can come in from LA, from anywhere in Orange County that Metrolink has service, Inland Empire. It drops you right off in downtown San Juan Capistrano. You exit the train, you walk a couple of 100 feet, and boom, you're there. We do have shuttles running all day, utilizing the Fluid Master parking lot and the Capistrano Business Plaza parking lot. But the best bet is the train. I mean, anywhere in southern Orange County, parking is a challenge. So if you can park at the train station, drop $10, get on the train, that's the smart bet.
And give them the website right now to get information at this point in time.
swallowsdayparade.org or swallowsparade.com. It'll all get you there.
Talk about some of the events leading up to the parade, including the pet parade, the hairiest man contest, Who's Gow Day, and frog jumping.
Would you want to take any of these?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll just say we just had the pet parade and it's absolutely adorable with so many different kinds of pets and dogs and rabbits. And I think we had a couple of rabbits that actually won. Let's see, the hairiest man contest. I'll let you talk about it.
So it's a tradition in San Juan Capistrano to have the hairiest man in San Juan competition. So first week of January, we take applications, and the gentleman will come down to the Swallows Inn. There is a barbershop salon attached to the Swallows Inn. They either come in clean shaven or we shave them. We take a picture, we register them. They can't shave until, in this case, the 20th, Wednesday the 20th, for Fiesta Grande, which will be held at the Swallows Inn. Our judges will examine the beards that they've grown and to determine who the hairiest man in San Juan Capistrano is. And that person will have an entry in the Swallows Day Parade. And I got to tell you, though, I mean, some of the guys that come in there, they get shaved right away, and within 15 minutes, they got a 5 o'clock shadow. By the time Fiesta Grande happens, you're looking at a couple of Wookiees. I mean, these guys grow hair at the drop of a hat, so it's pretty amazing. We have the El Presidente Ball coming up this Saturday, which, unfortunately for your listeners, is sold out. That is a traditional 1800 style ball. People dressed to the nines. They get the gowns and the cowboy suits. We even had a Spanish conquistador one year. Country music, and it's a good event. But that one is this Saturday at El Adobe, but it is sold out. Well, we have Fiesta Grande, which I talked about, which is pretty much just a big costume contest. So we'll have Best Woman Outlaw, Best Man Outlaw, Best Prairie Woman, Best Soiled Dove, which is Saloon Girl. Then we do Best Hat, Best Existing Beard, Best Existing Mustache, Best Boots,
Buckle,
Best Belt Buckle. I think there's 11 or 12 categories in all, and that's a lot of fun. There's no charge for entry in that, and that'll be Wednesday, March 20th at the Swallows Inn. Huskow Day, that is the day we drive around town with our mobile jails and visit sponsors, typically city offices, sometimes the grocery store, and anywhere anybody calls us, and we arrest people who are not dressed in Western apparel. And then for a small donation to the Fiesta Association, which goes directly towards the parade expenses, then they can get out of jail. So that's a lot of fun. 4 o'clock that day, excuse me, we have I think this is the 9th.
Oh, really?
Might be the 9th or 10th annual. I think it's the 9th annual frog jumping contest. We have a Mark Twain impersonator that comes down and talks about the frog jumping at Calaveras County, and then I take over and teach children how to gamble.
It's a wonderful family-friendly event.
It is. We'll have 3 or 4 frogs. We'll do a couple of heats. They bet on the frog. People's businesses will sponsor a frog, and they get the name. They get naming rights to the frog. Like, for instance, the Swallows Inn has a frog every year. They named theirs Tastes Like Chicken. That's I'm sure it is. Have you ever had frog legs?
No, I have not.
Because the losers of the frog jumping contest, they go on the happy hour menu at La Rondelle, I believe.
Rondelle, yes, right.
Yeah. But it's a fun event. That runs, I mean, I advertise at 4 to 6. It's usually done in an hour because you got 200, 250 kids. They're all in elementary school. They're not going to sit still for 2 hours. So we knock it out in about an hour. That's another free event, Los Rios Park, 4 o'clock on Friday, the 22nd. And then we get ready for D-Day, which is March 23rd.
And the spirit in San Juan is over the top in terms of people dressing up Western wear. Explain the vibe in the city.
This is the week of swallows is a very exciting time. I always hear people going, I'm taking the whole week off. I mean, they look forward to all of the events and just people are all coming out to be a part of it all. So.
And you've heard of families that have been coming year after year.
Yes, and they come as far down from LA on the Metrolink or and then all around Orange County.
We have a family that comes every year from Sweden.
Wow.
They do. And,
wow.
And every now and then they'll stop by the announcer booth that I work and they'll remind me who they are. But
wow.
yeah, they come down, spend a week. San Juan Capistrano from Sweden.
Wow.
Now,
I would think they have parades there, but
not the Swallows Day
no.
parade.
I mean, what makes this very different from the other parades that you oversee?
Oh, this one is themed. I mean, it's got an overall theme. This year, obviously, the theme is Saddle Up San Juan, but the individual themes of the cowboy, the cowgirl, the outlaws, the posses, the mounted posses, the sheriff's posses, the Victorian ladies on horseback, the ballet folklorico, the traditional Spanish dancers, and then of course your marching bands. But what sets us apart is no cars, no vehicles, no motors, but the entire parade is pretty much themed along an Old West or a Hachiman or Mexican or Juanino theme. Basically, we just try to keep it historical, but we don't actually have to push it. Everybody does it voluntarily, and you are right. You'll see people that are attendees that are watching the parade that are dressed exactly the same way. You see a lot of cowboy hats. One thing you'll notice about this parade, Swallows Day parade over past Swallows Day parade, is for the past 7 years we've been really pushing the family-friendly angle. Swallows Day parade, 20 years ago had a history, had a reputation of being an all-out party. And in this day and age, that just doesn't happen anymore. You can't do that. People don't accept it. Sponsors don't accept it. It's just not acceptable behavior in today's society. So we've been pushing for a more family-friendly. And I swear, last year I have not seen so many strollers at the parade. Downside is our beer sales, which is our single biggest fundraiser of the year, are down about 30%. But we anticipated that. Dad comes down to the parade, brings kids, maybe has a beer, maybe not. So that we can totally live with that. The last couple of years, we've had no unfortunate events or no situations that involve law enforcement and very minor medical aid situations. So I think the family-friendly aspect of the parade is here to stay, and the whole day is genuine, wholesome family fun.
Why don't you walk us through, if a family wants to come, we'll say from Los Angeles to come to the parade, what time should they anticipate being in San Juan Capistrano? Where should they park? What kinds of festivities should they look forward to doing, before the parade, during the parade, and of course after the parade?
Well, I'd recommend they take the train. Definitely, if you're coming from anywhere outside of South Orange County, I would take the train. Metrolink, again, if your kids are 17 or under, they're free. And it's $10 round trip. So you can't beat that. You can't even buy parking for that. So that makes sense. You want to take the earliest train possible, which I think they start coming in at 8 o'clock. The parade will start at 11 o'clock. You want to be able to get there early enough so you can find a good spot along the parade route. It was hilarious last year. At one point, we're on Camino Capistrano and Verdugo, the crowd was 7 thick on both sides of the road. And those poor people that got there at 1 o'clock in the morning or midnight the night before, to put their chairs out and put their blankets out, were staring at strangers' rear ends the entire parade. I actually had people come up and say, hey, you got to get these people to move. We got here at midnight for our spot. Well, enjoy the view.
Yeah. Also, if they are coming in and driving in and parking, the roads close at 10.
Yeah.
So recommend coming in before that to park in a neighboring parking lot. There's a lot of plazas around that they can park in.
And you have a lot of festivities for children.
Yes. Yeah, we work with a great company that comes up and brings lots of inflatables and lots of games. We'll have face painting. There's a number of different sweet treats, churros and cookies and what else? I think
Get the
cotton
kids on their
candy.
sugar high.
Yeah, we'll be sure to help out with that sugar high. So we'll have a lot for them to do.
And around the parade route, here's a plug, you have announcers.
We do. We have 24 announcers, 12 announcer stations. You, of course, and your amazing
The best
husband,
of the best.
Garrison, will be at In-N-Out Burger.
And I'll be bringing a friend, Memo Munoz, who will be joining us to be the announcing. But that will be announcing what you see at the parade.
Yep. Well, we added another station this year. We added another Spanish-speaking station at the north end of town. So we're up to 24 announcers.
And who puts this parade on? You lead the Fiesta Association, but share with us what they do.
Well, the San Juan Capistrano Fiesta Association is named the lead agency to produce the Swallows Day Parade. It's a city parade, so the city retains control, but the city designates us every year, and it goes to city council every year, so it's not something that's taken for granted. Every year we have to show that we're worthy, and so far every year we have been to put on the parade. We raise the funds. We raise all the funds through fundraising, through donations, and through sponsorships, and we pay all the bills. The city helps us with the permits. They take care of the permits and with the road closures, things like that. But everything from porta potties to security guards to announcer stations to rentals to radios to golf carts to banners, the wagons that we use, the horses we have to rent, is all paid for by us.
Are you able to cover the costs of the parade with all the fundraising?
We are. It was tough after COVID, and the COVID premium. I mean, prices have skyrocketed. Inflation is gone a little nuts. Some of our prices have tripled from 2020 to 2024. I mean, seriously, 300% increase for some of the same things that we were using in 2020. But that's to be expected between inflation and the COVID premium that a lot of vendors are charging to try and make up for their losses. But our sponsors have rallied. Farmers and Merchant Bank is our overall sponsor. They were very generous. The Almquist Development Company came in as our parade sponsor, and St. Margaret's is our presenting sponsor. So those three sponsors put us over the top. And then our regular sponsors, our division sponsors, and all the way down to the individual event sponsors. We have enough money to put on the parade. A couple of weeks ago, we actually realized we have enough with a small buffer. So, because something always is going to go wrong. Something's going to go wrong, and then someone's going to need $10,000. I mean, the parade typically in cash is about $120,000 to put the parade on. With the in-kind, it's a $200,000 parade, and we raise the funds ourselves from our generous partners, our generous sponsors, and donors from the community.
Michelle, how do we know that a Fiesta Association person is around the parade?
Oh, you'll see us. We always wear our black and whites. So we've got black pants and white shirts and black vests and black hats and black boots. And
a badge.
we just look.
And a badge, right?
We just look official. Yeah. Oh, and sometimes we have official badges as well. And sheriff's badges. So we will be looking the part, and so anyone should feel free to ask us for information.
And if people want to be members of the Fiesta Association, what do they need to do?
Just go to our website and read up on it, make sure it's something that they want to do. And then we've been meeting once a week, every Wednesday. We meet every Wednesday from January until the week of the parade. And then after that, it's once a month. We have about 140 core members right now that will be the lead positions in the parade. We'll typically have close to 300 volunteers. So not all of them are members, but if somebody wants to actually get involved, and that's what we're looking for people that don't just want to join to support, they want to join to be involved, because there's so much more we could do if we had more people.
So what are some of the benefits? What are the things you do during the year?
Well, there's just a great group and a lot of camaraderie, but we have done some things throughout the year. Jim's always trying to get us more involved in family-friendly events, but our season does typically start January with our membership mixer and go forward from there. But you've had us involved in some other things
during
during
COVID,
the summer.
COVID, we partnered with a lot of restaurants that were shuttered because of the lockdown. And with the Chamber of Commerce, and we got the county gave us approval to open up one of the restaurants on a specific basis, and the restaurants donated all their food, and we were giving out free food. I mean, Bad to the Bone, I think, gave out 10,000 pulled pork sandwiches in one day. We just had lines of cars, and then after all that ran out, because remember, their food is in the freezer, and it's only going to stay so long. The restaurants were closed. When that ran out, we switched to groceries and worked with Focus and with the Greek Orthodox Church, and we were handing out groceries to people that needed it. Multiple truckloads over a weekend. So that's the kind of thing that we got involved with, because we needed something to do. When you're in an organization that has 150 serial volunteers, and then you take away their opportunity to do any kind of community service that's not required by a court of law,
Right.
That are just because of the type of people they are and the goodness in their heart and the love of community, you take that away, they're all chomping at the bit for something to do. So we get involved. We help the city out with events whenever they need it. We help with some fundraisers whenever people need it. But, life is getting back to normal. I think officially it may actually be back to normal now. So we're focusing on the parade. There's a couple of other things that we're going to try and do over the next couple of years. It's premature to get anybody's hopes up yet, but if it happens, it'll be very spectacular in San Juan Capistrano. So maybe next year we'll have some amazing news for you.
What draws you to lead this parade and the Fiesta Association?
I suffered a lot of oxygen deprivation as a child, and I'm paying for past sins.
Led him down this path.
Yeah, you miss one board meeting, they make you president.
They make you president,
That's what happens.
Well.
I encourage every volunteer and all of our board members during the parade to stop just for a moment and behold what you have created. It's just you took a bunch of empty streets and you filled it with this, and then not just look at the parade, look at the crowds, look at the people that are having fun, look at the people dancing in the Mercado, look at the little kids that are squealing with laughter and having a blast, and they're playing in HTC Park. Look at the marching bands that are so thrilled because they just won the sweepstakes award, or the majorette who just got a trophy, or the family that put a walking group together and the judges recognize them with an award. Because this is a fully adjudicated parade. We have 14 judges, and they're judging everything from the walking groups to the marching bands, and the marching bands actually get points to go towards their competitions. But I ask the volunteers just to stop, take a breath, and enjoy what you've done. That's basically it. Michelle and I are usually the last to leave on parade day, and last year was the first year we got out of there before 11 o'clock at night. And we actually just sit back and we're just like, it's over, and we're actually glowing now. We're exhausted.
It's a tired glow, yeah.
But you did something nice.
You created memories for people.
Well, us and 200 of our closest friends create the memories. We're not going to take credit for it, but we put together an amazing team, and when you have an amazing team, you start attracting new amazing team members. So it's a very exciting time for the Fiesta Association because the future is bright. And like I said, there are some things that may be coming down the pike over the next year or two that are going to be stellar.
Michelle, what draws you to the Fiesta Association?
It's become like a family to me. I moved to San Clemente 10 years ago with my family, and I found out about the Fiesta Association, and I said, Fiesta party in a country western town? This sounds great. And sure enough, it's been, I didn't know I would be doing as much as I'm doing and have been for 5 years or so, thanks to this guy. But I really love the ability to give back to the community and be so involved and have this much fun. It's an honor.
It's a great Western party.
It is. Yeah, it's like throwing at your own country Western festival.
And many,
That you can bring the kids to.
I was going to say, you bring the kids, and what's neat is the kids can find out that they want to be part of this group or that group, and because a lot of different organizations are on parade.
Yep.
Yeah. And we also have junior dignitaries, and even this year we have a teen ambassador who happens to be my daughter. But we have
shameless plug
right,
right
Go
there.
for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hi, Savannah. But
Hi, Savannah.
we try to incorporate the youth, and we're also getting a lot of younger volunteers, which is excellent because we need people to carry this tradition on for forever and ever. So that's really nice to see.
Give us the website again for information.
www.swallowsdayparade.org or swallowsparade.com. And actually, if you just Google Swallows Parade, it'll come up with a link. That's the easiest way.
And I'll be announcing in front of the new In-N-Out in San Juan Capistrano on Del Obispo. I'll be among the announcers. Thank you, Fiesta Association President Jim Taylor and First VP and Mercado Chair Michelle Erca for being on Impact OC. And I thank everyone for tuning in. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Dawn Camber. Have an impactful day.
You've been listening to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping our community. Right here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio.